Hello, hello, hello. Good evening and welcome to #Botsang. It's a winey evening in the capital of South Africa. As I promised you, fellows, I'm going to do quite a number of recordings, and the most important one today is I will be talking about major different kinds of wines. What are the wines? Why are there so many wines? And who's who and who's drinking what and who's loving what? So it's 5 major different kinds of wines that I'll be talking about. I do not have all of them in the house, but I will try and explain a few. But before that, I'm very excited. 2 decanters in 1 week. Another gift came. It arrived this evening. Later on, I'll be recording a video about decanters and why are we decanting wine. Yes, particularly red wine, forget the others. So I'm going to shift this aside for the next video so that we can talk about wine. But when you teach and tell people about wine and they learn from you, these are the kind of the gifts that you get. This is the decanter. You can see all my tools are here. The decanters are there already in the house, but we'll get to that now. Many people always ask, what is red wine, what is white wine, which one is for what and which one is for what? I'm going to be very frank and very clear. I've heard people say you must take white wine with white meat and red wine with red meat. Utter nonsense. It's your choice. Do what suits you and what you are comfortable with. I do not eat red meat, for example. And I've not been eating red meat since I was age 17. And I love red wine. I drink 90% red wine. I do drink white wine, but I prefer red. And I live on seafood as a pescatarian, and seafood is white meat. Chicken is white. So why should I leave my beautiful red wine that I love in order to please people who think these plates go better with this? I'm saying the choice is yours. Now, good people, 5 kinds of wine. We've got the red wine, we've got the white wine, we've got the rosé, then we've got what they call sweet wine or the dessert wine, and then we've got the sparkling wine, affectionately known as the champagne if it's from France. So those are the 5 kinds. It's not complicated. Let me just show you. Don't look too much into this Nathan's Hof Estate collection. I love the box. I once bought wines and they came with this box. By the way, Nathan's Hof is one of my favorite estate wines, but I'm keeping the box to keep some of my good wines that I keep and drink on regular basis. If we start here, if you look, we have the Cabernet Sauvignon. This is so affectionately known as the king of wines. It's a Cape Sauv. If you don't want to struggle with the bloody French names, Cabernet Sauvignon, just say Cape Sauv, then you are safe. Okay. Then we've got blends. We've got wines that are blended. Like for example, this La Motte, it's a millennium wine. It's a blend of a Merlot and a Cabernet Franc. So it's a blend. This is one of my favorite blends. It's a private collection, very good. There's multiple number of wines that are in here, or grapes and varieties. It is also a blend. It has the Cape Sauv, it has the Petit Verdot, it has a Malbec in it, and a Cabernet Franc and a Merlot. So it's also a blend. Oh, the lady's favorite, huh? Merlot. Ladies' favorite, very soft, very smooth on the tannins. And this wine is one of my favorite Merlots. Oh, by the way, I'm keeping it for a special friend who won a competition I ran on social media, and she's going to inherit it. And then you've got this white one, this Chardonnay. And this Chardonnay actually is one of my favorite Chardonnays, but there's various of them. So you've got your white wine in Chardonnay, you've got the red wine in Merlot, you've got the red wine in blends, you've got another red as a Cape Sauv, and then you've got the sparkling wine. Okay? If this was French, like if you look there, there's a verve that is there. That's French. Apparently, I'm allowed to call that a verve, and all this moët and all that moët. That's how they pronounce it, the moët. Those are the French, and they're allowed to be called champagnes. But this is a sparkling wine because this is our a traditional Pancras. This is a South African brand, but this is a Pancras rosé. So this is a sparkling wine of rosé, and I haven't talked about rosé. Rosé is actually a wine that many people think like white wine is made out of white grapes. It is not correct. You do have white wines that are made of the black and the red grapes. It does happen. You do have the rosé, which is basically a blend of some white grapes and red grapes, but traditionally, obviously, you use the grapes to make wine. If you are lazy and you want to have a rosé, you just blend the red wine and the white wine and you get your rosé. But you must know which ones. You can't be using very strong one, like for example, a Pinotage and so forth. And then you have going back to Chardonnay. I don't like cap screw wine bottles. I'm old school. I prefer the cork. But this is an unoaked Chardonnay. It's chilled. It's been in the fridge for the last 2-3 months. I'm not a fan of white wine. Once a month, I take a glass or two of white wine, but it's an unoaked Chardonnay. It never through the oaking process, was never using the oak, and it has a cap screw. Again, we have the Haute Cabrel, one of the favorite in the country. This is a Chardonnay and a Pinot Noir blend. This is a Chardonnay and a Pinot Noir blend. Very good bottle of wine. I keep it for those who love their whites. And these are the kind, I haven't actually demonstrated that I had promised you as followers and fans that I'll be talking about Pinotage. This is my Pinotage. This is what I'll be consuming this evening. And I will tell a history of Pinotage just after this. I just want to introduce the number of wines that we are having. There's variety, there's various, but those are the 5 major. Remember, it's a red wine, it's a white wine, it's a rosé, it's a sweet or desert wine, and you've got the sparkling wine. If you master that, you're covered. Stop stressing yourself and wanting to know the difference between Pinot Noir and pronouncing it and the Pinotage and all those things. Those are the French. We are Africans, okay? If you can't pronounce it, don't worry. There's those that I can't pronounce myself, whether it's French, English, Latin, or what. Just enjoy your wine. My tools are here. As always, my favorite, a simple corkscrew, my wine cutter. This is what I spoke about in the past, very special instrument. This is a wine chiller with a spout and various kinds of spout. Here's this one. I've been having this for over 15 years. It's a spout, but it has a cap for leftovers. And then you've got, for those who love their bubbles, it gives me headache. If I open a bottle of Boncras, I can't finish it. I can have maximum 2 glasses. So what happens to the rest? It will lose the flavor. It will lose the bubbles. So you need to invest in instrument like this. This instrument is a champagne sealer. Trust me, I've used this for years. If you seal it properly, you will still have your bubbles tomorrow morning. And then this one, I'm not here to promote Carol Bowers or whatever you pronounce the name, but I got it as a gift as well from Mercedes-Benz South Africa. And it's also a bottle sealer. Very nice one, very expensive. I wouldn't buy this with my money if it was not a gift. I sometimes think branding is a problem. But nonetheless, these are some of the tools you need to be able to take care of your good wine. Okay, there's a champagne sealer. This is a bottle sealer. Very nice one, designer one. There's another bottle sealer with a spout, but it has a cap or a lid on. And again, we've talked about this in the past. That is your wine chiller, demonstrated. This is your wine seal cutter, bottle cutter, and your corkscrew. Various kind of corkscrews. When you look at this, for example, I got this case as a gift from a friend from Botswana. It has all the sets. If you are visiting somebody or you are going out and you want your wine, it's even have its safety belt. My wine is safe there. So you have your neck ring, you've got your bottle sealer, you've got your spout, you've got, oh, this is wonderful. This is one of the gifts. You've got your wine thermometer to gauge the temperature of the wine depending where you are. It's very important to have this, especially for connoisseurs and sommeliers. They use those things. And then you've got your traditional corkscrew. So I will be opening this bottle of wine when I talk of Pinotage, because this is one of my favorites, the Pinotage, proudly South African, and we'll talk about it now. For now, at least, we can stop right here. You can now sit down and wait for the next video as you are enjoying your wine. For those who drink white wine, sadly, you can only drink it chilled. I've seen people putting eyes on it, but I am not going to drink white wine this cold weather. They said we must keep our bodies warm due to COVID-19. I will therefore go for my goblet of Pinotage, and I think I love Pinotage too much. I talk a lot about Pinotage. Anyway, until we meet again next time over Pinotage. Thank you.